Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Okay. So I hope everybody's doing well. I can't hear you. You are different locations. Sanjay Prabhu is, her voice, Divyanshi is somewhere, is it the office or it's a garage or parking lot?
No, it's my college library.
It's your library.
It's yeah.
It's a, sorry?
It's my college library.
College library. Okay, you're using a college library. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend. It looked like my parking lot or something. It was not the case. That wasn't the case. Hare Krishna. Hope you guys are doing all right. Sanjay Prabhu is okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You back in
I'm all
action?
right now.
You look all
Yes,
right.
Prabhuji.
You're smiling now.
Yes, I'm 99% okay.
You're 99% all right. Still, with the two those as well. You're struggling for so long, no?
Yes, Prabhuji. It's going a bit long for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Just cough and all that, dry cough.
Yes.
Dragging a little long, yeah.
Yeah, even our son caught it, We are
Okay.
too. We are not caught it. We are all right. Same house. We are okay.
Strange.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's how it is. But it's cough and cold for him. Otherwise, it's okay.
Yeah. Normally, it's just like a flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, full symptoms. Yeah. But one thing is important that after you're recovered, you must not start your routine fast. At least for a month, you must go slow. Take it from me. Otherwise, you'll be sorry.
Yes, I think so.
It may sound like this, but it's not flu. It's an alien, man-made created virus. It will create destruction.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thing is, everybody got different effect on their body, but you really feel it afterwards. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mahesh is all right. Mahesh, Hare Krishna, feeling the heat. Delhi is also very hot. So also is your Maharashtra is also very hot, man. How much a degree there, Mahesh?
It's 40, Prabhuji.
40
It's 40 degrees every day.
every day. Delhi is 43. My God.
Yeah, it's over 40, Prabhuji, yeah, in Delhi.
Oh my God. I wouldn't survive. I remember going before I came to New Zealand. I took my friend and we went to Hyderabad. It was 43 degrees, and that was it for me. I froze there. Although I'm from Mumbai, Mumbai 36 and all is okay. 36, 37. Oh man, it's amazing. Oh Krishna Govinda. Okay, so now let's come to our amazing program here. So we are continuing with the question and answer sessions today, and sorry, I'm just trying to see here. Okay, so we had one question that was remaining from last time. That was again from Divyanshi Mataji. That was the question about the book changes. Could you like to repeat your question, Mother?
Yes. Is it okay? Is this volume audible?
Yep. Okay.
So my question is basically that in one of the verses in the perfect path writes that
Can you begin a bit more closer, Mother? We can't hear you well. Sorry.
yes. So I'm saying in the perfect work, there's a verse mentioned which says that any literature, however faults it has, it's still supposed to be considered transcendental. So why is it that Prabhupada's literature has been edited so much throughout the years?
Okay. Any other points there? It's a good question actually. Is this a complete question or something else is remaining?
That's it.
Very nice question. So her question is this: that in the Nectar of Instruction, verse number 1, there's a reference of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.11. This particular verse talks about even if the transcendental literature which describes the glories of the Lord, even if they are imperfectly composed, they are accepted as true by men, self-realized persons. So why is it that Srila Prabhupada's books have been changed, edited, and all that? So you want to know whether they are just grammatical additions and all, or is it overall additions also? Is that what I think your question was? Right. So let's get on to this. This particular verse which we are referring to is this very beautiful, very important verse. Tadvag visargo janatagha viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abhadyavatyapi namananantasya yashonkitani yat shunvanti gayanti gunanti sadhavaha. Translation. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So this was the question there. That why is it so? If it is the case, then um, why Prabhupada's books have been changed? Okay, right. So it's a big subject. It's a very controversial subject in ISKCON, and we are not afraid to speak on controversy. It is how things are, how we feel. Um, Please, if you can, the intermediate level devotees can show your faces. It's very nice, please. So the thing is this that I have done quite a bit of research. I'm not perfect in my research on this. There's a lot of things to be done. Yes, Prabhupada's books have been changed um, for good reasons and not good reasons, both. Um, of late, now they have created a new system where they are going to review every book change and see whether it is needed or not. But again, there are skeptics who say that they're the same people who have changed it. They're their own representatives. So what is this going on? Now, I remember in my research, I came across an interview which was done with Rameshwar Prabhu, who was the BBT, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust trustee in charge of book printing. Now, there is no BBT anymore. There is no Bhaktivedanta Book Trust anymore. The BBT was written here is BBTI. It's BBT International. There's again a big story why it is I. So there's no trust anymore. It's an international company. Right. So that's not the purview of our discussion here. Um, Now, there he said that when he spoke to the BBTI editors, and they went through each and every of these changes. The Prabhupada said, don't change a word. Of course, grammatically, Prabhupada said, you've got right. If grammatically you're making mistakes, you can change it. So the disciples, future said that if there's a grammatical error and one book is written in so many languages, so many errors have been published and everywhere. So one cannot have that error continue. You know, one should have. Um, yeah, please, if the intermediate class devotees can show your faces, please. It's not right. I keep telling this point. Um, so these errors, if they are being reprinted again, they're more and more going. So they are right in this point. So that particular interview that took place, they said that out of all the changes that took place, 25% of the changes are for good, are correct changes. Remaining 70%, 70% is no good. So this is the fact. This is what I've heard. This is what I've said. Now there are people who say no, we will read only Prabhupada's original books. We want to change books. We don't have that kind of. Um, you want to read original books? Good enough. You want to read change? Good enough. Even within our team, somebody said, "I prefer the change one." So no problem. Okay. I used to read changed, and I realized unchanged, I read the original ones. Now, let us go through some of the references changes that took place there, changes, okay? So for that, I'll have to probably show you this on the screen. Right. So okay, yeah, you can see this. Right. Let us see this. I had sent this verse in our WhatsApp group. Yada yada samharte chayam kurmonganaaya sarvashah indriyarthebhyas tasya pragna pratisthita. 258. So the original says that one who is able to withdraw his senses, I can probably read better. One who is able to who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects, as a tortoise draws his limbs within the shell, is to be understood as situated in knowledge. This was the 72 edition, it says. Now, prajna meaning consciousness. Okay? So, tasya prajna pratisthita. So, this prajna is consciousness. Now, the change, what happened is, one who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects, as a tortoise draws its limbs within it, the shell is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. Okay, this is how it is changed. This was what it was. Is to be understood to be truly situated in knowledge. And here it says, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. Now, these are two different changes here. The word synonyms talks about prajna means consciousness, which is true. Both prajna is consciousness. So that's why, and again, those who have changed, they said we have got the original manuscripts of Prabhupada. So from there, we have done this. Now, there is a difference here. In our WhatsApp message, I sent this particular one, the original one. One who withdraws his senses from sense objects, as a tortoise draws his limbs within the shell, is to be understood to be truly situated in knowledge. In the same way, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. Now, if one has got knowledge, then only one can have consciousness. Yeah. So that is how these two changes take place here. Which one do you think it is better? Some of you may say this is better. For me, this is better. It's to be understood as in perfect consciousness. Can you tell me, please, all of you who are there, which one is better, intermediate level? That we should start with you. This or this one? Because you're just starting your career in Krishna consciousness. So what do you think?
I think the original one is better because I'm like generally as well I prefer original texts as opposed to edited ones. But even in the context of this verse, the original one seems more encompassing than the second one, I feel.
Okay. All right. Now I will take you to the next verse where you see there is a philosophically also there's a change. Okay. Now I'll see the original one. It's very important ones. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin naham bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah ajo nityah shashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. 220. It's a very important verse. So for the soul, there is never birth nor death. Nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. This is original. So what do you understand by this?
that the soul is eternal, that it's not something that has a beginning or an end.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Very nice. Parth is showing his face. Okay, we'll ask you then. Parth, what do you think?
Krishna. Krishna, there's this line, having once been, that means there was a beginning, but in this, he's unborn also written there.
Yeah, we discussed it was in the past.
Yeah, we've discussed in some guest lecture.
No, I've done this with you people. So this is the change one. He said, for the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. Okay? It's never birth nor death. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. So theoretically, this is correct. He is not born. He's not come into being. Unborn, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Yeah. So this is the change. And they say that this is philosophically this is an incorrect statement here. They say for the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been. How can you say once been? If there is, he is unborn, eternal, ever existing. Na jayate, never takes birth. Mriyate, never dies. Kadachit, anytime. Past, present, or future. Yeah. Na ayam bhutva. Never this came into being. Never came into being. Bhavita will not come into being, will not come to be. Va na bhuyaha. Nor bhuyaha has come to be. Okay. So similarly in this here, having once been. So the soul is unborn, never been, then how can we be once been? Okay? Right. So they say this is wrong, and there's a reason for it. This is very important. We should understand the philosophy behind it. So what happened is that Prabhupada's books were not written by one person. Sorry, translated by one person. No, they were not. Many. Originally, there was one devotee called Ramarai who blooped. Bloop meaning went away. These are all people who are Westerners, who are hippies, so not stable. Even we find non-stable people also very, non-hippies also very unstable. So he left. He also thought he knew philosophy very well, and he left. He left Prabhupada, he left the whole movement. He thought he can find himself. Then there was this famous Howard Wheeler. He was a professor in English. Hayagriva Prabhu, very famous. But again, he was influenced by Mayavad philosophy. He used to read Radha Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. So impersonalist. So sometimes he would also change what Prabhupada has written. Think I'll correct this situation. So you don't say it is not black and white. Okay. Now you have been taught you're in Indian bodies. And among Indian bodies, you're also cultured people. But I've seen Indian bodies uncultured. They don't think about all this. They change. What? My elders have said, so what? He done, so what? I'll find my own way. I know better. You got all these things creeping into Indian culture also, the Vedic culture. Because only in India, the Vedic culture is practiced en masse in some form or way. Very rapidly going now, but still. So this was a problem. You see? So the proponents of this change, they say that this is because Hayagriva did not have that knowledge. They were just started and they were typing. So this is wrong. The change version is correct. Now, on the face of it, this is absolutely right. It makes sense. It's never come into being, has never been, But having once been means what? He's born. Okay. So, and then again, Hayagriva, along with the top sannyasi at the time, the first sannyasi, um, uh, uh, K. Swami. Um, anyway, they even hijacked this manuscript of Prabhupada, and they went to the publishers saying that we have written this, print this on our name. This has also happened. This is way back initially. Very, very initially. So these are all very very tricky, very dangerous situations that happened. And you cannot say it did not happen. Kirtanananda Swami, the famous. Okay, and he was the first sannyasi of ISKCON. So all this cannot be related separately. It has to be put together. So when you ask this question, it's a very murky water. We have to understand what is their psychology. When they were gays, both were gays as gurus also, sannyasis too at that time. So very complex situation. And then he was arrested in killing people and even having pedophile with this K. Swami, Kirtananda Swami. So what is right? What do we do then? Which is correct? But change happened after Prabhupada left the planet, 83 onwards. You see? So I found this solution. Maharaj says, don't worry, just read. You understand the philosophy, that's good enough. But what do we do in preaching? The Prabhupada has given lectures on this verse, giving the original translation. So now you tell me if it was wrong, so wrong, Prabhupada would not have picked up. This is wrong. Prabhupada did not have grammar, did not know grammar. Prabhupada knew grammar. So on the face of it, it may seem like this, but also once being, meaning what? It can also be understood that Krishna says all living beings are my part and parcel. Mamai jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. They're all my part and parcel. So once come into being means they also become individual as a spirit soul. That is also could be an answer there. I look at it that way. Do you understand this point? So that is the reason why we don't fall into a trap of fighting with people. But at the same time, we are intelligently independent in our thinking. Not this camp, not that camp. We're interested in Bhagavad, in Srila Prabhupada's teachings. You see? So we can get caught up anytime with any of these things. We have to be very, very careful. So nobody can dispute this. Prabhupada gave so many classes on this. I've heard it specifically this particular class so many times. Yes, Prabhupada said this. So this is how I'm to conclude it. So I'm going to read this original. You see? So you may have a different view, no problem. You can have it. Perfectly all right. So that's okay. Main thing is bhakti should go on. These things are going to happen, and very complicated things have happened, and you don't even know. Even leaders have not known. Don't know so many complicated things. So it should not disturb us. So yes, this has happened. I cannot answer the question. Why they should do this? They say that if there's something wrong, then for 10,000 years, if these books are going to be the law books of the world, then we have to be very careful about any things which are wrong, which is also correct. But then again, they say that we've got the manuscript which does it. So there are manuscripts uploaded, and some of people who are fighting this against change, book change, on the forefront, they are known to me. I've made friends with them. One of my godbrother is there also. So that's all right. We know everything, but we keep quiet. We understand. We find our way. We are like water. We're going to. The moment you get stopped, and water becomes still, it'll become diseased. Flowing water is not diseased. So yes, proper guidance is very much needed. And always go back to what Prabhupada has done. Prabhupada could have stopped it. Prabhupada has stopped so many times, Sit correctly while chanting. Chant, sit correctly. This is wrong, that is right. When the camera is going on, Prabhupada correcting things. So why can't Prabhupada correct this? If it was so philosophically wrong. So it's true. So there are those of disciples who are very with Prabhupada before. They say, Prabhupada could have corrected. Why didn't Prabhupada correct this? So it's okay. Now, those who say this is philosophically wrong, they swear by it. Both of them swear by it. So I said, okay, good for you. We do with our things. Is this okay? So you'll always find this, and just stick to the original. If not, change, no problem. But scrutinizingly study properly. There are many like this, changes and all those things. Many, many. Again, from English, when you change it to Hindi, it becomes different again. Because Prabhupada is not written in Hindi, he is written in English, you see. Then Marathi changes again from English to Marathi. As it is, Jaisa Haka Vaisa. But again, it may change because the person who wrote it, who's checking him? He wrote according to his capacity. Then the same way with Spanish and Czech language and German language and Arabic and all those things. You require. I was asking the person who prints books, I need Arabic, Bhagavad Gita and all that, Bhagavatam and all. Do you have? He said, do you have? He's asking me. Do you have somebody who can do it? I said, oh man. So what can be done? Because they've got huge infrastructure. So they're much better off. But still. Is this okay?
Yes.
But do not discard it. It is a fact. It happens. This has happened, and more will come. You cannot block yourself off. Many devotees, they say, their gurus say, do not go on the internet. You'll get, should not go. This is wrong. What do you mean don't go on the internet? So you will just follow what? They don't even know what to be followed. But I can tell you this. This answer of mine that Prabhupada gave class on this is a correct answer. Not one class, many classes. That solves the problem. Is it not so? There's people, just only with a lot of experience they can do the solution. Okay? Otherwise it's not possible. Right? Okay. Should we move on to the next question? Right. So what was the next? You had asked, Sri Mataji, your questions were there. Could you repeat the questions, please?
Yes, just one second.
The translation says that a guru should have complete control over his senses. Does that mean that a bona fide preacher should also have complete control over his senses? Can we receive spiritual knowledge from people who haven't completely controlled their senses yet, but they are sincerely trying? Yeah, this is a correct answer. Is this full question of yours, Mother? Yeah.
Yes.
So good question. Again, a good question. The thing is this: if we wait for a person to be spiritually perfect, realized, control of his senses, and then gain knowledge, there are very few like this in the world. Although many of them would say that, yes, I am. But how do you know he is? Even within ISKCON, how do you know who is? How do you know whose shelter you must take, who's a pure guru? He doesn't say I'm a pure guru. Neither does ISKCON say he's a pure guru. Nobody says it. It's a very interesting situation. So preaching everybody is doing, so what do we do? The thing is this, that's why parampara is significant. Parampara meaning what? That one repeats the words of a self-realized soul. That's why repeating as it is very important, without interpretation, without bringing their own subject matter, changing things. One can give present tense with examples, but the principle remains the same. The concept cannot be changed. The principle cannot be changed. So, preacher can. That's what is happening around in ISKCON, where everyone reads Prabhupada's books, and according to their capacity, they preach. If they have got potency, the preaching will be successful. The potency is very important, and potency comes from the parampara. When a self-realized soul blesses, the self-realized soul speaks. You see, we don't understand these things. We may use some words to express our thoughts according to our realization experiences. Similarly, those who have got realized knowledge of Krishna, they use words to narrate their personal realizations about Krishna. So many times, Srila Prabhupada also, in many verses in Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada gives explanation of that particular verse, and at the same time, Prabhupada also gives explanation of the explanations given by other acharyas. See? So even a pure devotee does the same, repeats and recognizes other acharyas and speaks. And he interprets, he gives his practical experiences to present day situations. So, for those who are not self realized souls, as long as they are speaking according to the books written by the previous acharyas, even though they may not be perfect, but if they are sincere, very sincere, then you can accept that. As long as you should also read those same books. Otherwise, how do you know that this person is repeating the words of the acharyas? That is the reason why in our Hare Krishna weekend programs, I insist upon telling where we study, what we study, and you can study the same. I always say this, that we are not studying some book which we are not giving to you. It is forbidden to you. We don't say forbidden, we say qualify and do it. No problem. It's there. But the problem is, vast majority of people don't bother to open the books and read. Either they do not have the intellectual capacity or the patience or whatever, studious mind, inquisitive mind, whatever you say. So they flock with somebody who speaks nicely or look nicely or whatever it is, and then they just follow. We have got huge majority of people like this. And this is the folly which they fall into. They will never be able to become independently thoughtful. Prabhupada uses these words. You should be independently thoughtful. Means, yes, you are saying this, you are saying this, you are saying this, you're telling me something, right, thank you. I am independently thinking about it, thoughtful. How am I thinking about it? Not by mental speculation, by myself reading what is given. This is important. You got your answer?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, good. Second question. You have how can we best control our speech in a workplace or with our friends? How can you? Why do you want to control speech with your friends? What do you mean by controlling speech with your in the workplace and friends? Can you give an example?
So basically that because we say that the controlling of the senses starts from the tongue, right? Like you
Yes.
control your speech and your food and everything. So
Yes.
while like personally speaking, I'm not a necessarily talkative person, but when you're in a social setting, sometimes to interact with people or to like, especially in your workplace, to socialize with people or to network with people, you do have to interpret. So, yeah, my question is that how can you Basically, how can you avoid useless talking? Or like how to identify that this is some place that is not required for me to speak?
That's up to you. You're clever. All of you are clever. You will know what is needed, what is not needed. Sometimes you have to tolerate some situations for a greater gain, and sometimes you don't have to. You'll find a way. Krishna will find a way, give you the way, give you the intelligence to do it. We cannot, if you want us to hold your hand and tell you with every stage, okay, this person is saying like this, now say like that, that's not going to work. We have gone, we do business, we do jobs, people talk, you talk, they would go for parties, people are here, they've got the same situation. You have to go to parties, you have to go to things. You don't not go to parties, but you don't indulge in those activities there, and they'll appreciate it. In India, it's a bit hard for some reason. I also find that when I'm in New Zealand, when I'm with Indian colleagues, it's more harder than Western colleagues. They appreciate it. They say, okay, I appreciate what you're doing. So I don't drink. Thank you very much. Indian will say, why not? Why like this? Why do we eat non-vegetarian food? Why you don't eat non-vegetarian food? I remember this. I've given an example long ago. I'll repeat this again. But you cannot do this at this young age of yours. I was at a different age group where we had a different set of managers come through, management team. It was merged. There were many Indians there. And Westerners too, but the boss was manager, Indian. So we went out for lunch. I didn't have it. So vegetarian, I said, why I don't have it? I said, I'm a vegetarian, thank you very much. Why like this? I said, I'm vegetarian, I don't eat, man. what do you want to hear? He said, well, plants also have got life. Sorry, yeah. This is a simple, basic, childish argument which has been put to us when we were small children in Krishna consciousness. And you're such a big man talking like this in front of the whole crowd. So you open your mouth, you'll get the whole thing then. You thought you're very smart in front of the whole crowd. So I told him, so, well, you say plants have life and animals have life. So if you eat plants, you can eat animals, right? He said, yes. I said, human beings also have life. Why don't you eat human beings? Everyone was stunned, He said, no, one day I will eat. I said, don't now change the topic. You started the question, I'm asking you the question to you with a reply. Why don't you eat human beings? Don't talk about one day they will do it. Yeah, then it was quiet. Everybody said, this is the point. That you don't change, you don't see the difference between plant life and animal life. For us, every life is important. But for you, human life is more important. For us, every life is important. And if there's a chance that I can eat non-living beings, I will eat non-living beings. But I cannot do it, so I'm eating this vegetable. That was the last time. He never went that place again. As I said, you people are young, you're starting your job and career, you can't mess with your boss like this, he'll get his ego. Most of them have got inflated egos like pigs, big. So find your own way. Say, no, I'm vegetarian. But I tell you one thing. No, I don't talk. You can talk. There are people who measure their talking. Unless you are in sales. Sales people talk a lot. I don't understand. But they say sales people have to talk a lot. You speak very nicely, you become salesman. I don't agree with that. I was in sales. Not that you talk more so you are a good salesman. No. What you speak is very important. Remember this point. It's not the quantity of speaking, it's what you speak. So you understand if you try to, in a situation, if you know what to speak, when not to speak, all of you, and people will appreciate this person, he measures his words. If you can weigh your words before it comes out from your mouth, you would conquer the world. If only we can do this. But in what situation, what to do, what to speak, how much not to speak, how much to indulge, how much not to indulge is up to you. I've gone to, my colleagues used to go to dance bars and all that, as managers were to go, I go and I used to go. But I used to not indulge in this. And the same people on whom these people would spend money, the same women would come and say, "You people are okay. What was that dead guy? He's such a sober man. He's such a smart man. What is this?" So next day, a few days later, this guy came and told me, "You rascal, you didn't spend a single rupee there. You just kept quiet. One day you don't drink. You're managing us quietly. You're managing things. We were all doing loafer things over there. But all these women whom we were trying to impress, they're all asking about you." I said, "That's why I told you, don't take me." But what to do? You take me, no problem. This is what happens. It happened all the time. They all would get drunk, and out with the bouncers would come out separate. Ones, don't worry, I'm managing this. Keep them away. All this, and I'm sitting quietly. They would do it. That's how it is. So it's how you want to be. How you want to be, and people appreciate this. So weigh your words. Choose your words. Choose how much you want to associate and not associate. Sometimes you have to do it. I have spent, as I said, many hours, middle nights, many days. I have to do it. When you're abroad, when a meeting, when managers come, you've got so many parties going on. You can always be there, but not be there. Always be there and say, "Yeah, I'm enjoying with them. They appreciate you. Laugh around, play around. But hey, listen, this food I don't do. These talks I don't do. These things I don't do. The limit to this. And they will first, second, third, they'll know. Simple. And then they'll appreciate. Silence is also a force. Is that okay? All of you, is it all right, you youngsters?
Yes, yes. That's very
Okay, good. Then you had your question after that. What are the etiquettes for wearing clothes and eating food for an aspiring devotees? What do you mean wearing clothes? Etiquettes for wearing clothes meaning? Could you clarify this, please?
And there was a reference regarding this, that do not dress luxuriously. And so that I just wanted to ask what that meant.
Yeah. Mataji's, if you don't dress luxuriously, you cannot survive at this stage. So also Pitaji is the same thing. It's yes. Once Srila Sanatana Goswami were given a nice coat, by somebody to wear. He was traveling. He was not well. He wore it, and I reached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his place after many days. He was wearing it. Mahaprabhu embraced him, liked him, but could feel that this is not the dress, so opulent dress for you. Did not say anything, so he quietly removed it and kept it away. Now there is Sanatana Goswami at that stage, that age. At this age, you can be detached. Don't get me wrong. But no, and not but and you can be detached, no problem. And at the same times, there are our own desires also. There are also desires of our family, because you are still under control of your parents and elders and all that. So either you want to look like them but be different, or not look like them and remain different. It's your choice. What supports your endeavor to do your bhakti, and at the appropriate time to preach. That's important. After a certain age, simplicity is very nice. Till a certain age, we cannot really restrict extravagance and all that thing, But do not try to impress a sincere devotee by extravagance. You can impress materialists by extravagance. That's all right. There's no harm in wearing nice clothes. There is no harm in wearing very good clothes. There is no problem at all. I'll tell you one thing. If you are rich, very rich, you've got very good taste, but you are simple with that taste, elegant. You would appreciate this more than if you are rich and you have extravagant taste. At least in India, because India is still cultured. Western places, it's not very culture existing there. So till certain age, at least after certain age, around 50, if you're not doing your jobs and all those things, then you must simplify your life. Because more simplicity means more money you are saving, less clothes you are wearing, means less ironing, less washing. Not that you don't wear clothes. It's not a question of not wearing clothes. You should wear good clothes, very good clothes. No problem. But extravagance should reduce after a certain age, not till the time. You all have to get married. You have to have your families. You have to have so many things. So many obligations are there. So you be the right judge. What do you want to do? How you want to achieve your two purposes? First is, as I told you, your Krishna consciousness and your preaching. Prabhupada is given both ways. Prabhupada said we wear dhoti because we are seeing different. That's why we wear dhoti. At the same time, Prabhupada also said, if you need to be, wear proper dress and go and preach. In the temple too, wear whatever is needed to be done. No problem. Externally, it's not an important thing. Internal things are very important. Yeah. But we are Indian bodies. We've got Indian this thing, Vedic. So our Vedic lifestyle is a bit better for us, People appreciate this. Is this okay? This question?
Yes, this is right.
And as you chant, as you study yourself, you yourself will have a little detest over a period of time. Right now it is new, so it detest is very high. But as it settles down, then it becomes normal in your life. Then you have to tolerate this, and then slowly it will go away. That doesn't mean you should become artificially poor. Don't become artificially poor. It will be seen. You don't have to be poor to show simplicity. Yeah? This is okay? Yeah, I think we finished the question answers. And eating food as per aspiring devotees. What does it mean, eating food? Same thing, eating simple food. Well, all the best. As I say, you come to my house, you have simple food, all the best. Eat always simple food, but still, uh, Krishna requires extravagant food. As I told you last time, we discussed, Krishna requires extravagant food, big food. Why do you want, khichdi? Krishna should have khichdi only or what? That's a good point too. He's a young man, 17-year-old boy, always hungry, requires palatable taste. So why should we force him to have khichdi of 90, 80-year-old man? That is also true. As we saw, Sanatana Goswami were giving him roti, bringing and some. He said, "At least put me some salt, man." What is this? Bake some salt and put the salt on the roti on top of it and give it to me. It is too hard for me to eat. Maybe okay for you, Yeah. So Krishna is God, is a person, and he's now Yavanam. Now Yavanam means always young, always fresh. Youth is always fresh. Old age becomes, bit dry. But for materialists, devotees, no. Old age also very fresh. We don't see old age as unfresh not for devotees. Non-devotees, true. We as devotees see if you are becoming old, it's a big fortune for you. You get more chance to become Krishna conscious. For karmis, as you are becoming old, is like a problem for them. They're lost in life. That's why they got midlife crisis, and what kind of crisis they get, Devotees say, no, this is great chance. I'm getting more time. Krishna is giving me in cricket like Krishna is giving me more overs to bat on, and I can score more runs, before my wicket falls. So good, I'm getting old. I want to be bored. Krishna give me more time. At the same time, he's ready to go now. So take me now. When I'm in good health, I can remember you. I don't want to be. I don't want to. Yeah. So food, whatever is there you eat. Don't insist, I want that only. Without this, how can I eat? Without that, how can I eat? I must have sweet, I must have this. It's okay. This is your age. You have that also. You want to eat rasgulla, to make rasgulla and serve Krishna. You want to have made no problem. But as time will come, you say, if I have it, it's okay. If I don't have it, it's no problem. If you have made it, I'll have a little bit, no problem. Because after a certain age, more simple food is better for your health anyways. This big oil and ghee and paneer and fried and all these things you will lose taste for it anyway. You will have so many ulcers and this problem and that problem in the body, So this simple life is best life. Early to bed, early to rise. But at early stage, you may want to go out and do some Saturday night fever. Do it. Have your Saturday night. I've done it, Saturday night fevers. So have it that way and then settle down. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just telling you I have done it. That doesn't mean you should do it. Please don't get me wrong. All I'm telling you is open there. You can choose. Don't do it is the best. If you have to do it, do it. And as I said, you're very young people. Finally, this point, and you have a whole life ahead of you. If something goes wrong, for regulative principles, falling down or whatever, it is not the end in itself. It is not the end. Krishna says in the Bhagavad chapter 9, verse 30, that even if my devotee performs most an abominable act, you must understand he is righteous because he is performing his devotional service. Krishna is saying himself, the material world is such that falling down or doing wrong things is very easy. Doing right things is very difficult. You see hypocrisy everywhere. So when you are born, you are crying. Everyone is crying when we are born. Nobody comes laughing in this world. Everybody is sad to come in this world. Everyone. That is when we are in pure state. Because we are pained to come. We are in tremendous pain when we are coming. But as we grow, we are captured by Maya and we want to enjoy. You see, we forgot that original thing. Otherwise, we would have been laughing and crying both when we came into this world. But we only cry because we are in pain. Physical, mental. We forget that as we grow older. See? So, remember this. Continue with your bhakti. You'll be alright. There's nothing which is wrong in Krishna. Everything is pure. Krishna is pure. So, you are very fortunate people. Please do so. Wherever you will go, whomever you will meet, you will make everybody peaceful and happy. You will. Even if you feel I'm doing this to them, don't feel. Just focus on your Krishna consciousness. I'm telling you, they will know there's something about you. They will know this, something about you. And when you choose your life partners, look for this. Something about you should match that something about you. Because you have something very, very special, which ordinary masses does not have. Okay? Alright? I think we should finish here. Yeah. So, I don't think we've got time here, but anyone wants to say anything? I'll quickly wait for a few more seconds.
Just a small thing on I would like to say about the book changes. Like, not a question, just a small thing. I have a strong feeling. Like I went through these arguments like when I started my journey on these online arguments.
Your voice is
And
not very clear, Prabhuji. Your voice is not very clear.
Hare Krishna, is it
Yeah,
clear now?
yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. I went through these arguments, and at the end, what I realized was when Prabhupada is stretching so much on the fact that books are the basis. I read these online, GBT edit, and all of these things, but I found that they are so stupid. Not as in they are correct, but they just I thought somehow downplayed Prabhupada's position as an acharya and as a very strong figure, and as if he was not in control of what was happening in the books, as if things were just going behind his back and Prabhupada was innocently sitting there and Krishna was not protecting. So Prabhu, I have this thing, I'm just sharing this, that when you said that you prefer those books, I said, oh, there are also people like this who prefer the original version. Because most of in ISKCON right now, they have this system of 1983 version. So yes, that is what I.
Yeah, they're not aware. They follow their gurus quietly, blindly, and they are not aware. They don't not independently thoughtful. That is a problem. We are very different preaching. You'll know how different we are as compared to mainstream preaching. You'll realize it slow and steadily. That's correct. Very nice. Okay. All right. We'll take a quick short break. No, it's only 2 minutes. I think we might as well continue now. When I start my class, man, I'll be going for 2 more hours. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we'll stop this the video here, and I think we'll start again in 30 seconds. I'll ask Krishna Das to sing Radha Madhava and no, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and that's how we'll be starting. So those who are joining us, who are watching us on YouTube, will be disconnecting this link now and joining back again in about 15 to 20 seconds. So don't go away. Be there, same place, same time. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Nectar of Instruction ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande.